Mama June, Pumpkin Efird getting married to ex-Josh's cousin Darren? Here's what's next for them. Mama June star Pumpkin Efird and Darren Kitchens are getting serious, so she answered if they are becoming one through marriage. She began dating her ex-husband Josh's cousin while she was still legally married to him. June wasn't in favor of her daughter being in such a relationship before divorce. Though she is more fond of Darren than Josh, she still couldn't support her. Pumpkin revealed to June at the lunch date that Josh and Darren aren't biological brothers because Josh's father is Darren's stepdad. Despite the clarification, June pointed out the long list of complexities that had been brought to the table. Shannon felt quite awkward about her girl picking someone from her ex's family. Mama June, Josh looks forward to reconciling with Pumpkin. Josh Efird took a big step in reuniting with Pumpkin after she rushed to the hospital. He was recently involved in a tragic road accident where his truck crashed. In moments of his ex-wife receiving a strange call, she started to panic. While he had minor injuries on his face, she admitted that she wanted to know where is her kids. During the latest episode of Family Crisis Season 7, Josh went to meet Pumpkin with a bouquet of flowers. Jessica asked what his intention was with the flowers. He explained that he wishes to express his gratitude to his ex-wife for being there for him in his time of need. Later in the confessional, the reality star said that he is still hopeful for their reconciliation. He wanted to make everything right between them, and he is unable to move on from his family. Mama June, is Pumpkin eyeing marriage with Josh's brother? Recently, June, Jessica, and Pumpkin showed up in an Access Hollywood interview to discuss the show's new season storylines. Talking to the host, Pumpkin revealed how her new relationship with Darren is going. She said that since her children stay with her and her partner on the weekend, they remain quite busy and worn out. Darren has a permanent, full-time job that gets him out in the morning and back in the afternoon. After that, the couple works in their house's backyard and even plans date nights when the kids aren't around. So far, she is loving his company but doesn't want to rush things at this point. She has further acknowledged her previous marriage mistakes. Hence, Pumpkin's past experience won't let her get hitched with Josh's cousin anytime soon. But the wedding should be somewhere in line. When June was asked to shed light on her daughter and Darren's love, she recognized his true potential. They took him on family vacations and found him very adjusting and of good nature. Pumpkin explained she doesn't feel guilty about picking herself up wherever needed. She is in a happy place with Josh while seeing Darren. Their co-parenting may initially have been stressful, but it's going pretty well these days. Despite having bittersweet memories of her marriage with Josh, she didn't want to change things. Stay tuned to TV season and spoilers for further updates. The Mama June universe is spinning once again, and this time the spotlight is fixed squarely on Pumpkin Efird and a rumor that has exploded across social media. Is she actually getting married to Darren, the cousin of her estranged husband Josh? It's the kind of shocking twist that would make even the most seasoned reality TV fans sit up straighter. The whispers began as innocent speculation, then gained momentum through fan chatter, family tension, and subtle clues that point toward a major shift in Pumpkin's life. Now the question isn't just whether Pumpkin and Darren are together. It's whether they are headed toward a future far more serious than anyone imagined. To understand why this rumor has taken on a life of its own, you have to look at the emotional whirlwind Pumpkin has been navigating for the last year. Her marriage to Josh had been tense for months before their split became official, but the emotional distance between them had been forming long before the paperwork. Their relationship endured years of chaos from external pressures, family drama, instability, and the constant demands of raising 4 young children. When the breakup arrived, it wasn't a spark, it was the collapse of a structure that had been cracking for a long time. And in the middle of that collapse, someone unexpected walked into the frame. Darren? At first, fans believed Pumpkin and Darren were simply reconnecting through family ties. After all, complicated family webs have always been part of the Mama June storyline. But then came the photos, the outings, the comments, the subtle shifts in body language that reality TV viewers know how to analyze better than professional psychologists. And finally, the confirmation that they were indeed dating. The relationship sparked every kind of reaction, from excitement over Pumpkin finding happiness again to outrage that she would date someone so closely tied to her ex. But now the intensity around Pumpkin and Darren has skyrocketed. Rumors of marriage began swirling after sources close to the family noticed how serious the pair have become in a short period of time. Those who know Pumpkin well say she has been the most emotionally open and grounded they've seen her in years. Gone are her days of walking on eggshells, bracing for chaos, bracing for disappointment. With Darren, she appears more relaxed, more confident, more ready to embrace a future defined by choice rather than circumstance. People around her insist that his presence has brought a calming stability into her life, something she has desperately needed after carrying her family's emotional load for nearly a decade. But the romantic calm isn't the only reason fans believe a wedding could be in Pumpkin's future. Over the last several weeks, Pumpkin has been making decisions that look like major life transitions. She has opened up about wanting long-term stability, wanting emotional safety, wanting a partner who supports her without dragging her back into old patterns. She has hinted at wanting a fresh start, not just in her personal life, but in her identity as a woman, a mother, and a partner. And Darren, according to insiders, is giving her precisely what she has been searching for. Of course, the flip side of this budding romance is the tension it has created with Josh and the people who remain close to him. Even though Pumpkin and Josh have separated, dating his cousin sends shockwaves through the family dynamics. Josh has reportedly been well aware of the relationship, but sources say his reaction has been far from calm. The complexity isn't just about jealousy or pride, it's about family loyalty, broken trust, and the emotional whiplash of seeing your ex create a new life with someone who shares your bloodline, who has made her own feelings known in ways only she can. She has publicly criticized the relationship, calling it strange, inappropriate, or wrong from her moral standpoint. But her reaction, as always, carries layers. It isn't just the relationship that concerns her, it's the implications. If Pumpkin were to remarry, would the family dynamic shift again? Would June feel like she's losing influence? Would new tensions emerge between the extended families? June has a complicated relationship with boundaries, especially when it comes to her daughter's personal decisions. The thought of Pumpkin making such a permanent commitment may be triggering old insecurities and the fear of being pushed further out of her daughter's life. Inside the Shannon Efird family, opinions are split. Some family members reportedly support Pumpkin, believing she deserves happiness after years of emotional weight and responsibility. Others have expressed concern that the relationship is moving too fast, especially considering the children. Pumpkin's 4 kids, Ella, Bentley, Jayla, and Silas, have already endured more instability in their young lives than many adults. The idea of introducing a stepfather, rearranging co-parenting structures, and potentially adding new siblings in the future raises every red flag that family watchers can think of. But Pumpkin has always been fiercely protective of her children, and those close to her insist she would not even consider marriage unless she believed Darren was truly the right person for their emotional stability. Insiders say he has been gentle, patient, attentive, and committed to building trust with the children slowly, not forcing roles, not overstepping boundaries. The bond between him and the kids has supposedly grown naturally, without pressure, without performance, and without any expectation that they accept him overnight. For Pumpkin, that patience has meant everything. As the rumors intensify, so do the questions about what a potential wedding would look like, and how the family would react. Would Mama June be invited? Would Josh confront the situation? Would Alana support Pumpkin, or would she feel torn between loyalty and discomfort? And perhaps the biggest question of all, would Pumpkin truly take a step as huge as marriage so soon after leaving a long-term relationship? For fans of the Mama June franchise, this storyline is more than a romance. It's a test of growth, boundaries, and emotional healing. Pumpkin has spent years being the responsible one, the parental figure, the emotional caretaker. If she chooses to marry Darren, it wouldn't be impulsive. It would be symbolic. It would represent her reclaiming her life, her happiness, and her right to define her own future. But nothing in this family ever happens quietly or easily. If a wedding is on the horizon, expect emotional fallout, family disagreements, social media storms, and some uncomfortable confrontations. The Shannon family has never been known for subtlety, and a marriage between Pumpkin and Darren would ignite every unresolved issue within their tangled web. Still, despite all the chaos, the possibility of marriage brings something the Shannon family hasn't experienced in a long time: hope. Hope for new beginnings. Hope for healthier relationships. Hope for generational healing. Hope that the cycle of dysfunction might finally break. For now, Pumpkin remains silent on the rumors. Darren has kept his head down, choosing not to fuel the speculation. But silence often speaks louder than words in the world of reality TV. And the emotional energy surrounding them suggests that something big is coming. Something life-changing, something controversial, something that could redefine their future. Maybe a wedding. Maybe an engagement. Maybe a major announcement that fans aren't even expecting. One thing is certain: Pumpkin's next chapter will be the most transformative yet. She has survived chaos, heartbreak, responsibility beyond her years, and a childhood overshadowed by instability. Now she is finally stepping into a life she chose for herself, one built not on fear or pressure but on possibility. And whether the rumors are true or simply the beginning of a new storyline, Pumpkin's journey with Darren is just getting started.